You have arrived at the entrance of the hidden temple, a place of ancient power and mystery.
I take a deep breath and move towards the temple.
The path before you opens up to a large clearing surrounded by tall ancient trees. The air feels heavy with a sense of age and mystique. In the center of the clearing stands a grand archway. The archway is adorned with moss and vines, indicating the passage of time and nature's reclaiming of the structure. The stones that make up the archway are withered but sturdy, standing as a testament of the enduring power of this temple. As you approach the entrance, you notice that there's a faint shimmering barrier in the front of the archway. It seems to be a magical ward, protecting the temple from unwanted intruders.
There's a ward on this door, and it may alert whoever is inside of our entry. Does anyone have a way of bypassing it? Otherwise, we're just going to have to walk through it and proceed.
Darian carefully examines the ward, studying its magical intricacies. With his skilled hands, he deftly works on disabling or finding a way to bypass it. He rolls a 14 on his Thieves' Tools check. Darian manages to identify the mechanism of the ward and successfully disables it, allowing the group to pass through without triggering any alarms or alerts. The way is now clear for you to enter the temple.
Nice. That's actually a lower DC than I was expecting, but I guess it's probably kind of appropriate for our level, so let's enter. We step into the temple, keeping our gaze moving in search of any traps or dangers as we walk.
As the group enters the temple, their eyes scan the surroundings with caution. The interior is dimly lit, and flickering torches cast eerie shadows on the ancient walls. The air feels heavy and still, carrying a sense of age and mystery. They tread carefully, checking for pressure plates, tripwires, and any other signs of potential harm. The floor beneath them is a mosaic of faded symbols and patterns, giving no clear indication of hidden traps.
In my vision, was I shown the artifact by Neve? Am I familiar with what it looks like? I want to know if I can pull the same trick of locate object on this thing, but we'll see.
In your vision, Neve described the artifact to you, but did not show it directly. She spoke of its legendary power and the importance of retrieving it. However, you don't have a detailed visual description of what the artifact looks like. Neve emphasized that it's rare and a precious item, sought after by many, and its significance lies in its ability to shape the destiny of those who possess it.
Okay, so forwarded there a little bit, but that's fine. I look to the rest of the party. I'm not familiar with the artifact, so I can't use the same spell I used to find Lyrith. We will have to explore the temple and see what we can find. Be careful as we move, though. Korgath or Darian, would either of you care to lead the way? Korgath, you are hardy and may be able to intercept threats more easily than the rest of us, but Darian may be better at detecting traps and can lead us in a more stealthy way. I'll take the lead, Rhys. My size and strength should be able to handle any immediate threats that come our way. I'll keep an eye out for danger and make sure the path is clear for the rest of you. Dorian nods in agreement. I'll follow closely behind and use my skills to detect and disarm any traps that we might encounter. With Korgath leading and my keen senses, we should be able to navigate this temple safely.
With the rolls assigned, Korgath takes point, leading the way into the depths of the temple, and Darian follows closely behind, scanning surroundings for any signs of danger. The rest of you follow, keeping vigilant as you watch and explore the mysterious corridors and chambers and the challenges that lie ahead.
So from here, I'm going to change the prompt up a little bit. I want to do kind of a dungeon crawly experience, and I will say that I've tried this in GPT-4 and it's worked a lot better, but we'll try it this way. Let's give it a shot. I don't know if it'll need to be too complicated. The prompt I'm going to put in is that from here, I want to explore the temple in a dungeon crawl fashion. Give us descriptions for paths we can explore. I'll pick a room or direction. From those options, you will follow my selection with the encounter. Encounters can be combat, traps, treasure, puzzles, or no encounter at all. Continue that until we go to where the artifact is held, and then at that point we'll return back to the original prompt. Okay, that's very cool. It spat out 4 options for us: the Eastern Corridor, Western Chamber, Northern Staircase, and Southern Hall. The Eastern Corridor is long and dimly lit, lined with ancient tapestries and ornate statues. The air feels heavy and has mystery and history. Western Chamber is large and has crumbling pillars and debris. Shafts of light filter through the cracks of the ceiling. There's broken relics and pottery that litter the floor. The Northern Staircase leads upward, disappearing into darkness, and seems super creepy. Let's avoid 3 if we can. Probably where the loot is. And then 4 is the Southern Hall, a wide vaulted hall that extends in front of you, adorned with faded frescoes depicting scenes of a forgotten era. At the end of the hall, there are double doors. It beckons. Out of those, I think the Southern Hall is where I'd like to go first. It seems the least creepy and the most welcoming, so let's do that.
You decide to explore the Southern Hall. As you walk down the wide vaulted hall, your footsteps echo against the stone floor. The faded frescoes on the wall depict grand battles, majestic landscapes, and mythical creatures, providing a glimpse into the history of the lore of the temple. Reaching the end of the hall, you stand before a pair of massive double doors. Carvings of intricate symbols and patterns adorn these doors, hinting at the secrets that lie beyond. The doors appear to be sturdy, but there's no visible lock or handle. What would you like to do?
Well, I'll nod to Darian to check for traps.
Darian carefully examines the double doors for any signs of traps. After a few moments, he shakes his head and gives you a reassuring nod. It seems that the doors are free of traps.
Cool. Then I nod to Korgath to open the door.
Korgath steps forward and pushes open the double doors with a mighty shove. The doors creak and groan as they swing open, revealing a large chamber beyond. The room is dimly lit by flickering torches mounted on the walls, casting eerie shadows that dance across the stone floor. As the doors open, a musty scent fills the air, hinting at the ancientness of this place. Inside, you see a vast hall with high ceilings supported by stone columns. The room is full of stone sarcophagi, neatly aligned in symmetrical pattern. Dust and cobwebs cover the surfaces, indicating that this place has been undisturbed for a long time.
I don't mess with the dead. Like, generally don't mess with the dead. Sarcophagi usually mean dead guys, undead guys. We should tread lightly. I look back to Lyrith for guidance. I feel like, I don't know, like she has a deeper connection to this place deep in the forest. I'm not sure if I want to mess around in a room occupied by the dead. Might be best to turn back and not disturb their rest. What do you say?
Lyrith gazes into the chamber, her expression thoughtful. After a moment, she turns back to you and speaks softly.
These are the resting places of ancient warriors and honored figures. While it is important to respect the dead, we must also consider the importance of our quest. The artifact we seek may be hidden within the temple, and we must press on. However, let us proceed with caution and reverence, for we don't wish to disturb the spirits here unnecessarily. Let's carefully search the room, but do not disturb the sarcophagi, the coffins. Just steer clear of them.
You and your companions begin to carefully search the room, making sure to respect the resting places of the deceased. While you avoid disturbing the coffins, you thoroughly inspect the surrounding areas for any clues or valuable artifacts. After some time, Darian discovers a small hidden compartment tucked away in the corner of the chamber. Inside, you find a collection of ancient scrolls, their delicate parchment barely holding together. The scrolls appear to contain forgotten knowledge, potentially valuable for unveiling the secrets of this temple and aiding in your quest.
Lyrith, could you take a look at these?
Lyrith takes a closer look at the scrolls, her eyes scanning the symbols and markings with a mix of curiosity and concentration. She speaks up, her voice filled with excitement.
These scrolls contain ancient druidic knowledge, long forgotten by most. They hold teachings of nature magic and rituals, and even hints about temple secrets. With these, we might gain deeper understanding to the forces at play here.
She offers to keep the scrolls safe and study them further when there's more time. Having a druid among your group who can decipher the contents may prove valuable in future endeavors.
Okay, well that's nice. It also seems like this place has a druidic vibe, so it'd be nice to have her with. I'm glad that we ran into her. After finding the scrolls, I want to move in a different direction. So let's head back the way that we came and point us towards the eastern corridor. If you remember, the eastern corridor was the one that is basically just dimly lit and has tapestries and statues. I'm usually a little sketched out by statues too. Just maybe some D&D caution. Statues oftentimes become animated, but screw it. We'll see what happens.
The eastern corridor stretches out before you, its stone walls adorned with intricate carvings and symbols. The air feels slightly cooler in here, and a faint scent of dampness fills the air. As you proceed down the corridor, the path takes a turn to the right, leading you deeper into the depths of the temple. You continue to explore, your senses alert for any signs of danger or hidden treasures. The corridor twists and turns, occasionally opening up into small chambers filled with ancient relics and forgotten artifacts. Along the way, you encounter a few traps, but with Darian's expertise and caution, you manage to safely bypass them. After some time, you reach a larger chamber, with a towering statue at its center. The statue depicts a fearsome warrior, its stone eyes seemingly watching over the room. The chamber is dimly lit, with a faint beam of light flittering through narrow openings in the ceiling.
I trust them all to search the room quietly as I kind of walk around and just stay alert of what's going on in case of an ambush.
While the initial search yields no results, Korga's keen eyes spot a glimmer of something beyond the statue. He moves closer, reaching to investigate another compartment. Inside, he finds a small alcove containing a pristine ancient dagger adorned with intricate engravings. Ooh.
So a ceremonial dagger. That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll hold on to it, or maybe, Darian is a rogue, so maybe a dagger is just better for him. We'll see. Darian, can you make use of this dagger? I could definitely make use of it. It's a fine weapon, and the enchantment could come in handy.
With the dagger now in Darian's possession, you continue the exploration of the temple, moving forward through the east corridor. The air grows slightly colder as you venture deeper, and the faint dampness lingers. As you progress, you notice a series of intricate patterns etched into the floor, forming a complex mosaic. The patterns seem to have a magical nature, but the purpose eludes you at first glance. What do you do next? Do you investigate the mosaic or continue down the corridor?
So I will go to a higher vantage point and then look down at the mosaic to get an image of the entirety of the floor.
You scan the area, searching for a higher vantage point that would grant you a better view of the mosaic on the floor. Just a few feet away, you notice a partially collapsed section of wall, creating a small ledge. It seems sturdy enough to support your weight. Carefully, you make your way up to the ledge and position yourself to overlook the mosaic on the floor. From this elevated position, you have a clear view of the intricate patterns etched onto the floor. The mosaic consists of various symbols, sigils, and arcane designs, forming a complex and mesmerizing pattern that spans across the floor. As you study the mosaic, you notice that certain symbols appear to repeat in different sections. There is a recurring motif of intertwining serpents, a symbol of knowledge and wisdom in some cultures. However, the overall purpose and meaning of the mosaic eludes you.
Everyone, wait one moment. Look at this. I point out the mosaic on the floor and hop down. I inspect the tiles and attempt to, shift one. I'm kind of thinking of one of those kids' toys, that kind of slides around or whatever. I just want to see if they'll move.
You gather your companion's attention and point out the mosaic on the floor. As they join you, you proceed to inspect the mosaic tiles more closely for any signs of mechanisms or movable pieces. After careful examination, you identify a particular tile that appears slightly raised compared to the others. It seems like it could be shifted or manipulated. With a bit of effort, you apply pressure to the tile, and to your surprise it moves, revealing another hidden compartment.
Okay, that's getting a little redundant, but we will consider that a theme rather than just a lack of creativity by the language model.
Inside of the compartment, you find a small leather pouch.
And it looks like it's a small leather pouch full of some faintly magical gems. I take the gemstones and point us all further down the corridor.
With the gemstones in your possession, you lead the party further down the corridor, eager to explore what lies ahead. The passageway stretches on, its stone walls adorned with ancient carvings and symbols. The air grows colder as you proceed, hinting at a hidden chamber.
Let's follow the cool air. Cool air usually means something cool, so let's check it out.
Following the trail of cold air, you navigate through the corridor with heightened caution. As you proceed, the air becomes colder and more pronounced, leading you to believe that there's an opening or passage nearby that allows draft to flow. After a short distance, you notice a small fissure in the wall, barely visible to the untrained eye. The cool air seems to be emanating from this narrow opening. It appears to be a hidden passageway or doorway that leads to another area of the temple. After thorough inspection, you discover a hidden latch. With a gentle push, the latch releases and a fissure widens, revealing a hidden chamber beyond.
Because it's so narrow, I'll move ahead into the hidden chamber. I'll gesture to the party to follow my lead stealthily.
With caution, you squeeze through the narrow opening into the hidden chamber, beckoning your companions to follow suit. The chamber is dimly lit, its walls adorned with faded murals and ancient runes. The air is noticeably colder here, sending a shiver down your spine. As you explore the chamber, you notice a soft ethereal glow emanating from a pedestal in the center of the room. Upon closer inspection, you discover a magnificent artifact resting atop the pedestal, a gleaming crystal orb that seems to radiate with magical energy. The orb pulses with a faint light, its presence both captivating and foreboding. It appears to hold great power and significance, a potential key to unlock the mysteries of the temple. The room itself carries an air of solemnity, as if it has remained undisturbed for ages, awaiting the chosen one who would come and claim this artifact.
Okay, I take in a deep breath and a sigh of relief. We've done it. I don't want to get over eager, though. I want to respect Lyrith's connection to this place. Lyrith, this place is obviously connected to ancient druids. I'd like to let you get the first look at the artifact. Be careful, though. This seems easier than expected. While she does that, I'll take notes for my books and songs for when I recount this adventure.
As Lyrith approaches the crystal orb, her eyes widen with a mix of awe and trepidation. She reaches out to touch it, her fingers hovering just inches away. The room is filled with hushed anticipation, as the temple itself holds its breath in anticipation of what is to come. Suddenly, as Lyrith extends her hand towards the artifact, a chill wind sweeps through the chamber, extinguishing the torches and plunging the room into darkness. A voice echoes in the shadows, filled with both enchantment and malice.
Ah, so you've come. The Chosen One and her faithful companions.
Emerging from the darkness behind the crystal orb, a figure materializes, a fey creature with ethereal wings and a mischievous grin. It's Neve, the very being who appeared in your dream to set you on this path.
I don't like how this is being described. It's a little sketchy. If Neve could already be here, why is Neve here? And why show up right now? Like, did we need to open that little door or something? I don't really understand, but I think Lyrith should chill for a moment. Lyrith, 1 second. Step back away from the orb. Neve is here. This is the one I want to tell you about. But, I don't know. Let's play this by ear for a moment.
Lyrith steps back, her hand retracting from the orb. There's a mixture of fear and determination in her eyes. She turns to face the rest of the party, her voice firm.
We've come too far to turn back now. Something definitely doesn't feel right about this. I want to make an insight check on Neve right now. Okay, that gives me a total of 10.
As you focus your attention on Neve, you try to glean any hints or signs of her true intentions. While she remains an air of calm and authority, there's a suitable flicker in her eyes that betrays a hidden mischief. You sense a slight discrepancy between her words and her demeanor, making you question her true motives. Though you can't be certain, you feel a nagging suspicion there might be more to Neve than meets the eye.
A shout out in a hurry. Korgath, Darian, stop her. Don't let her touch that orb.
As Rhys's voice echoes through the chamber, Korgath and Darian react swiftly, lunging towards Lirith just as her hand makes contact with the crystal orb. But in that split second, a surge of otherworldly energy envelops the trio, engulfing them in a blinding light. The force is overwhelming, and they're torn from the present dimension, disappearing from the room in an instant. As the light fades, revealing the empty chamber, the true form of Neve is unveiled. Her impish features and mischievous grin replace the illusions of a fair fey creature. She throws her head back and cackles, relishing in her trickery. The crystal orb, now devoid of its ethereal glow, falls to the ground, its power extinguished. It lies there, a mere object, no longer a gateway to another realm. The room falls into silence as the weight of the loss and the betrayal settles upon you. Only the items discovered in the temple remain as a reminder of the vanished trio, a bittersweet testament to the adventures shared and the sacrifices made.
Oh, screw that. If the items are left that we found here, I am going to sprint over, slide on the ground, grab that ceremonial dagger, and hurl it at this stupid imp. 14.
As you hurl the dagger towards Neve with determination, she simply waves her finger tauntingly in the air, and the blade is swatted away by an invisible force. She chuckles menacingly and says,
"Oh, little bard, you truly are entertaining, but you're no match for me."
With that, she disappears in a puff of smoke, leaving you standing in a dark chamber in silence, with nothing but the inert crystal orb and the few items you found in the temple. The room feels heavy with an eerie silence. You can't help but feel a mix of frustration and disappointment. The artifact you sought and the druid you intended to rescue are now both gone. You're left wondering what exactly just happened. For a moment you stand there, collecting your thoughts. The darkness seems to press in on you. You realize that it's time to leave this place. So you pick up the inert crystal orb, the dagger, and the scrolls you found, carefully tucking them away. With a heavy heart, you make your way back through the temple, retracing your steps to the entrance. Once outside, you take a deep breath of fresh air, feeling a sense of relief to be out of that eerie place. As you look around at all the natural beauty of the forest, you can't help but wonder what other adventures and challenges await you in this world. And so, your journey continues. The mystery of Neve and the artifact remains unsolved, but you know there are many more stories to be written and songs to be sung, and with a determined spirit you set off to find new adventures, new friends, and new tales to tell. And this is where we'll end the adventure for now. Thank you for embarking on this journey with Rhys, and I hope
You all had an enjoyable experience. If you ever want to continue this story, you can start a new one. Feel free to reach out. Happy adventuring. That is how ChatGPT has ended our solo campaign with Rhys, and I honestly am blown away. I think that as if you're coming into a campaign with a character and you want a compelling backstory that you can show to your DM and say, hey, this is what I'm coming from directly. I had a previous party who was sucked into a crystal orb by an imp named Neve that I am on the hunt for. You can bring that to a party. You can bring that to your DM, and I don't know a DM that wouldn't be stoked to hear a story similar to this to put in your campaign at some point. What a great plot hook. Holy crap, I'm really impressed. Yeah, and if you are too, and you like content like this, I'm definitely starting another campaign in ChatGPT 4 with some plugins. And if you want to see that, hit subscribe. If that's too much for you and you just want to support the channel, then, throw up a little mage hand on the like button. And of course, shout out to everyone who supports me on Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee. You guys are fantastic. What a great story. I'm excited to see what we can keep doing here. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next time, and I am certain that I will be playing Rhys at the table someday. Feel free to use him yourself. Thanks, guys. Peace.